Now, I just want to come back and go back to the story about in Nevada. During this time of Debbie running around with this married woman, and running around with Alex Holt, and there's this Kendall Lee, and there's this cocaine thing going on, and Alex's Holt's brothers got killed by apparent suicide, or well, it's cyanide from Freeport Gold, and Freeport Gold had to pay for that, and it has everything to do with cocaine and stuff like this, and and that house that it was actually in, that he was living in, was Marcel's house, Gato, and I don't care about dropping names at this point anyway. But and I was telling you about how I was going down and shopping for Dean Sherwood. I'd go down and just buy products and stuff like this, and this one day, hey, I got a job for us. Uh, Alex Holt says. And Alex Holt, I had a picture of him actually when Haley's Comet was coming around. He's in my boat, looking at my boat and stuff. And this is about the time that all this is happening, when me and Alex Holt's running around together, you know. And this is just this after my wife had, you know, been gone and stuff too. I could remember that point, because I was running around openly with women. And Alex was going out with this woman named Cherie that worked at the Red Lion Inn, where my wife actually worked. She's an actual 21 car dealer right there. And I'd come up to the table and, sit right down and sit right down. I'd win. She'd give me the look, go away, because it's time to go, because she's going to take your money, and I'd come in there, and a couple times she'd be nice to do that, and it was kind of fun. So anyway, if you know somebody, it's cool. You just never know, you might get the look. So anyway, now me and Cherie and Debbie and Alex was running around and stuff, and then Alex comes up with this here job, for Marcel, and he owned the house, that right there, and then they put in the sprinkler system and stuff, and he showed me, he's making a little money on the side. Alex is, and I like this here, putting sprinklers in and stuff that he's doing, little jobs, and pays good money, man. So this what Alex is doing now that he's not working at the gold mine. Him and Jerry both lost his jobs about the same time, on that one. So, and oh boy, there's just so many. Oh, but anyway, this guy Marcel, he takes me out to his place. Oh no, he gets me, and we go out and we smoke some pot. There's not a lot of pot around Nevada. So somebody wants this. A friend with weed is a friend indeed, where I come from. So anyway, Marcel's got some weed and stuff, and by the way, he's already found out that. Well, I've ran over to California when I took Jerry's wife over there, Jerry and Jerry's kids and stuff. Luann came back looking gnarly and stuff. Jerry moved her back over here, and then ended up dumping her off and running off with Jan in the middle of that. They're weird and stuff and doing their trip and stuff. And I end up taking Jerry's family to California, Willits, California, where Bob and Celia live. Dunn. My mom's maiden name's Dunn. And Celia's the name of the woman that was murdered over there with Brian Harnell. Celia, the people live by signs, you know. So anyway, and anyway, when I come back up from Nevada, you know, from everything that was going on there in the and that guy, you know what I did was I ended up building him a building over a basement, you know, and I got paid $4,000 for, and we had to split the money, and a bag of cocaine that was about this year deep, and it was smelled diesel. It wasn't worth a shit as far as I'm concerned. So anyway, I gave that to Alex, and Alex sold it, and he brought me back half the money. And just like when I went over to Nevada, when I went over to California, and I took Jerry's wife and girls over there, all on my own without Alex knowing. You know, the kid, they were just, the family was dropped on me, dumped on me. My mom said, "Can you take him over there and, you know, get him over there?" You know, and I did that very thing. And while I was over there, I bought a bag of weed for like $50, a garbage bag full of weed. And I came home and I took all the buds out of it because I was going to smoke the buds. And Alex comes by and he sees that bag and he goes, "Jesus Christ," he says, "you want to get rid of that?" He says, "I know right where to get rid of that right goddamn now." And I said, "You do?" He says, "Yeah." He says, "I'll get rid of it." He says, "I know exactly who to get rid of it to. I'll get rid of it to my cocaine dealer." You know? I okay. I'm gonna go. I mean, I don't want. I said, "I don't have nothing to do with it. You take that thing. You can have." I said, "How much?" He says, "I get you $7,000 for that." I said, "If you get me $7,000 for that, you can have half." And he says, "I can have half." And I go, "Yeah, you can have half." I said, "I just don't want nobody to know who the fuck you got it from." I said, "You get busted with pot in Nevada, you go to fucking prison for 10 fucking years." And I said, "And you know, you might as well get busted for fucking cocaine because it's the same amount of time, I believe. As a matter of fact, with cocaine, you can go like this, just blow it off the fucking tray. You know, have fun cleaning up, have fun getting that. But marijuana, man, you can't get rid of the shit." So anyway, there you go on that one, just something for knowing. So anyway, here Alex says I could get this, and you know what? Great, that happened. And just comes back in a couple weeks after the fact that, and it all worked out good. I think I got like $4,000. He sold it for 8,000. You know, Alex. So anyway, Alex gets good money out of this $50 bag of weed. Brings me back $4,000. Boy, I think this is a good deal. You know. So anyway, he wants me to go take another trip. Matter of fact, the guy furnishes me his little Honda Accord. I drive his Honda Accord over there with Alex. I leave Alex at the hotel while I go meet somebody, get a ride with somebody, and go get some weed. And I met these people, and I met this girl takes me out to this her place to get some weed. And she brings me to the place, and there's this house, and you know, it's right there, and there's this log right here. We park right here. We get up to the doorway, and she knocks on the door, and she says, "There's only one thing I never told you." And she goes, "They're gay." And the door opens, and it's this guy that has red curly hair and stuff that's wearing this like harness that goes right down into his pants. And you know, I'm like, you know, okay. You know, she doesn't know that he doesn't know that I've been told that they're gay like that, whatever, you know. So the expression on my face is probably one that's probably, well, I'm just here, you know. So anyway, I'm now, you know, I've been invited in, and we're inside, and there's a coffee table there, and there's this good looking guy that comes in, and he's built, man, like, good looking guy, like he could be a wrestler, you know, like this. And he goes and he tells me, "Well, I, I'll show you around, you know, and that way these two can talk about the marijuana deal that they're scooping up, and she's doing for me. She's getting me the weed, and he's going to take me over here and give me a little sightseeing trip around the place, and this is what's going to happen here. And I go out, I go to the left, and we go through this room. There's a foosball table and stuff right there. Matter of fact, there's a picture of Clint Eastwood right there on the wall. And I go, and I looked up, and it says the best. He signed it, Clint Eastwood. Yeah, and I go, and I looked up there, and I looked over at him, and he goes, the best, like that. And I go, the best? He goes, the best. And I thought that was pretty funny because, you know, what he was suggesting was him and him was lovers, you know. Like that to me is what I got out of that. And I just let it go at that. I'm not going to go after Clint Eastwood. God damn it. Make my fucking day. You gotta know your own limits. I watched all those. Dirty Harry too, right next to the bowling alley downtown Morton at 208. At 208. There's a bowling alley right there, 4 doors down, 3 doors down. Right there, me and my dad. My dad watched the Exorcist right there with Linda Blair, and he wrote that fucking letter that went back to down California about I watched the Zodiac and it was such a good, or the Exorcist and it was such a blah blah blah. Oh, I know that was my dad and his writings too by knowing my dad, and you know, I mean, I'm telling you guys just the true stories and stuff. So anyway, um, I get down there and, you know, all this stuff's happened in Nevada. I've ran over there and I got the weed on the second trip too. I came back to Nevada and you know what goddamn happened this time? This time it's a goddamn setup and I'm gonna lose fucking dough on this one. I go and get the fucking weed. The guy goes and gets his weed. I get my money. I got some weed too. And my weed gets fucking ripped off. My money didn't. I got my money. But the weed that I had stashed in my truck, Alex and his friend, Alex, the guy that fucking took me over there and did this, Alex Holt, his friend, George Guzman, that works at the paint shop, came over and Slim Jim my car, my truck, and ripped off that fucking Mexican, George Guzman. And he worked just out at the fucking auto body shop, and I goddamn knew he fucking did too by the way he's acting. You know, and George Guzman's funny because they'd go to Mexico and they'd smuggle some coke back or whatever. It was coke, I know it was coke back, and they would put it in a fucking bag that had salsa. You know, a bag within a bag that had salsa, and he'd just wear it right here in his crotch. And he'd just go over there and he'd pet the dogs and stuff even. You know, dogs don't go off and stuff like that. George walked right through customs and go right through the fucking thing and bring drugs into to Elko, Nevada. I mean, I thought it was, you know, and he didn't do it very often, but I know that he did it and it was for himself. I don't think that he was selling it, you know, but I think that, you know, when he went to California and right there at that paint shop, maybe he did sell some at the paint shop, but they were happy painters down there. And everybody in Nevada was doing cocaine at the time. I mean, it's just a widespread cocaine thing. But anyway, it's almost 14 minutes, and I wanted to bring you up to date on that cocaine and that situation. And I'll come back, and I got a little more conversation about this.